Hi everyone, this is Live from a Christian Perspective with Faye. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my channel. This is where we talk about living in Christ, for Christ, and doing everything to glorify Jesus Christ, our Maker. Today we will be talking about different experiences, encounters that you might have in life. Now, everybody will have encounters such as maybe weddings, childbearing, that will stick even if that's appeared or occurred 20 years or more. That's because it's life changing, because it's impactful that you remember. And for Christians, the most experience that one will really associate with is the time when you give your life to Christ. And I would like to share my experience with you because it was a life changing experience for me. I grew up in a Christian background, went to church regularly. But from the time I could remember as young as I was 10 or so, I used to have nightmares. And sometimes I even wake up in the middle of the night and I would be hearing people laughing or things laughing, whatever it is, behind my window where I was sleeping. And I would cover myself with a black coat and I'll be shivering. I never really thought maybe I should go and tell my parents or pray. Even though I had been going to church regularly, I knew Jesus Christ more or less, but I really didn't have a personal experience with him. And so that went on not so well. Occasionally I would have these things, but I never really told anybody. Now, getting to what you would call GSS 2 in Nigeria, where I grew up, I moved to a boarding house, or would I say equivalent of grade 8. It seems as if the nightmare intensified, and I would have the same dream 2, 3 times or more. People were always chasing me. It was either an old woman was chasing me, or I was in a car locked in, and I had witches and wizards dancing around me. And I have this kind of dreams almost every night. And I got to a time I was so scared of going to bed. And you know what I would do instead of like asking for help or crying out to God, I would instead, knowing that there was Jesus Christ and he could help me, but I really did not want to bother myself so much with doing more than I was doing. I was attending church and on Sundays, and that was good enough for me, and I think that believe that was good enough for God. And I would put my Bible under my pillow and sleep over it, hoping or thinking that that would prevent the bad dreams or any demonic attack. And of course, the devil, knowing that that didn't really have any impact with him, would torment me more and more. And so these dreams continued, and it was something that I was living with. But I really didn't see any need why I needed to have a personal encounter or deal with it, apart from the way I seem to be dealing with it. But there was one dream, or should I say, I don't know, dream or vision that happened to me that changed my perspective. Now in the boarding house, I went to a public boarding house where the things amenities were not so fantastic. And I was sleeping in we had bunks, so I was sleeping on the lower bunk, and my bed so happened to be just by the doorway. Now the doorway that of the room where I was, where about 10, 15 other students were sleeping, had a door frame, but there was no door to actually close. So it was just a door frame without any door to it. So you couldn't close it, but you could get in or out. And so my bed just happened to be there. Other people did not want to sleep there, and that was the only option I had when I got there. So I had to sleep there, because then people were afraid of, when you're in boarding house, you have spirits, you have different things. But that was where I slept. And so this night, as usual, I think I put my Bible under my pillow, hoping that I wouldn't be tormented. And I slept. And I dreamt that I was on my bed and that a floating demonic head floated in through the door. Remember that I was on my bed, so it was as if I was seeing myself on my bed or was happening to me for real. And so I dreamt that this floating head came in, floating, looking very, I don't know, demonic, very ugly thing. And it was pointing its finger, whatever happened to be the finger, at me and saying, you, and started to strangle me on my bed. And I was trying to scream, Jesus. I was trying to scream and I couldn't scream. And I was struggling and I was like, almost, what can I do? And I dreamt that there was there's this sister in the same room where I was that is, at least we know, everybody knows that she is a Christian. And she will invite me, wake me up for morning devotion. I wouldn't go. As I said, I believe that the Sunday services were okay for me. Go mark register, that's just a routine. And then I dreamt that her spirit woke up or stood up and helped me. That she was the one that helped me to get away from the demonic spirit or whatever was strangling me, and that was how I escaped with her help. When I woke up from that dream, I was soaked up literally in sweat. All my bed was drenched with sweat, and I knew that it was not a normal experience, that it had really happened to me. My clothes, my bed was soaked with sweat as if I had just been in a battle, and I couldn't sleep again. And that day, I was the first person that was waking other people to go to morning devotion because I was just scared. I'd never had that kind of nightmare again. The other one just seems like, babies compared to the one I had. And so it happened after the morning devotion. I think the next day was a Sunday. And we went to church, and there was my Sunday school teacher. He later on became my Sunday school teacher. He was preaching. He was still in the seminary. I remember his name vividly, at least the first name. His name was Brother Simon Peter. And he was one that preached that day. And he talked about giants in chains, that we are giants that are in chains, that we have the power over anything, that whatever it is, God has given us authority over, and that we should stop thinking that we don't have the power, that we should stop being in chain. And just as if he was talking to me, I was like, so I am a giant and I am in chain. Meanwhile, I have that power and that authority. I realized that, look, you have been given the power and authority over everything, including your dreams. And that day I prayed and said, God, help me. Help me to stop having this nightmare. Help me to have authority and to overcome. And that was the last day that I can remember since my grade 8 or GSS2 that I had that kind of nightmare. So nobody actually laid hands on me. Nobody actually delivered me. God delivered me. And that was when I really became serious with my life, and I started, yearning for a personal relationship with God, because I realized that God has given me the power, that I was a giant in God's eyes, that I could trample over anything. Because God said, I have given you authority to trample over all snake and scorpion. And that is how I've been living my life till now. And so what is my take-home lessons from this story that I have shared with you? Whenever you might be feeling down, you think that God is not there, there is always an encounter that you have had before. Maybe how you gave your life to Christ, or something in a way that you know that God has helped you. Hold on to that. Remember that the God that saved you then is still the God that can save you now. Remember that when you're going through a situation, God will always put people around you to help you. You just have to be sensitive to receive it and to know who they are. God put Brother Simon Peter around me to give me the appropriate word that I needed that day. When you're in a situation, it might not come in the way that you need help, but He will always put people around you to advise you, to help you, to give you the word that you need. And another thing I also learned is that when people have been impactful in your life, like Brother Simon Peter had been, because even after that, he became my Sunday school teacher. And, Sunday school was something I yearned to go to, because it brought Jesus to me in such a way that we could relate to as teenagers that we are then. Take the time to appreciate that person, to call that person. Don't wait until people are dead. People, they wait until the person is dead or in a bad position before they open and said, you have been impactful to me. Call that person that has changed your life. Say, you have done this. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for being a change maker. Because their knowing will also go a long way to help them. And maybe you might be the one that might be helping them. Maybe they're also going through a situation that just your word of encouragement might just change their life also. So don't wait till people are dead to appreciate them. If you know of somebody that has been impactful to you, Take the time to say, you have done this for me. You have been helping me so far. Thank you. And also remember that you are a giant and you shouldn't be in chain. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Stay blessed and see you.